Good afternoon. How are you all today? I just thought I'd jump on and answer a few questions that I've gotten some emails and some DMs on here lately pertaining to places to live. And the reason why I watched several videos of people where I guess they want to move from here to another country somewhere. That's your right. You do whatever you want to do. I guess the questions I was asked was pertaining about where I lived. You know, people that foreshadow Kentucky as being just this place where nobody has shoes and just no teeth, no education, nothing, and nobody lives here successful, or it just goes on and on forever. And a lot of the things some of them are true, but I think they're true anywhere you live. I don't care where you're at. You've got all kinds of different folks. I mean, from poor to well off. But our society today is almost where it's either you're poor or you're very wealthy. There's very few in between. And there used to be a lot of in between. A lot of levels of in between. Not much anymore. But I will say this. I've lived here pretty much all of my life, except for when I had to leave for several years for military purposes and working purposes, should I say more. But I've been to a lot of places, and I have yet found one that I'd want to, so to say, hang my hat on for whatever time I have left in this world. And I see people saying they're going to move to Albania, Bosnia, Spain, Ireland. If you heard today, but somebody was from a foreign company, for a foreign country, should I say, that had migrated there like people have been migrating here the past several years, unlawfully. Tried to literally saw a man's off without no avail. And the man did pass. But people did jump in, and finally, in Ireland is where I'm talking about, and tackle this person and keep him from, but the person didn't make it anyway. But either way, I don't understand how people can just be standing and watching somebody be brutally assaulted or worse and not do anything. I don't get it. Are we in such a bad spot in our time that nobody has a second or gives a crap, should I say, to keep it clean about if a person lives or not? Is that where we are now? I guess so. Because, man, I look around when I'm walking around in different places that I go, and people have this look of disgust on their face when they look at you. Hey, man, I get it. I understand. Times are hard for everyone. For everyone. And certainly nobody's trying to make them better. That's a fact. I get it. I do. I get it. But are we going to let people take away the person that we really are? If you're really that way where you really don't give two hoots what happens to anybody. Okay. I mean, that's maybe how you are. But you know, I don't believe a lot of that, because I've been in this world for 57 years, soon be 58 years. And yeah, my right eye, I've got some kind of eye infection in my right eye. It's killing me too. So if it looks red, and I can see it and hear it. It looks worse than it did this morning, but I apologize. But anyway, folks, there's got to be something to where we can come together a little bit more when we're seeing something right in front of us go down. If we won't step in because, oh, hey, wait a minute, no, I don't want to be considered a racist, or I don't want to be considered phobia of this certain type. I don't care what you consider me. If I see another human being trying to saw somebody's noggin off with a knife, that's what's going to happen. No question about it. And when I'm saying this, I really mean it. Been there, done that. And I'll do it again if somebody's trying to hurt me or somebody with me. I'm not going to stand by and watch it happen. I don't care what happens. Seriously. That's where I'm at. But if you want to, and I guess what I'm getting at, and I'm going there with this. Just hold on a second. I'm going what I started this out to be, and not on a rant. But if you're going to move somewhere out of this country that you've been used to living in your whole life, you have all these freedoms to say whatever you want, think whatever you want, and not get in trouble for it. Be who you want and not get in trouble for it, as long as it's not against the law. Well, I guess some cases it can be a little bit against the law. But if you go to certain countries with some of the people over here the way they're going to go, it's not going to work. I've been to these countries. I've been to these third world countries. And yes, Albania is a third world country. Been there. I know the delights and the non-delights. It certainly isn't Dubai. I can tell you that. And it is in Eastern Europe. Is not a great place to be moving to right now. If you think it's bad here, go over there. Because I know a lot of people that live over there in these areas that still work. And they're not, it's not a great move. Greece, Spain, pretty nice. Still, you don't have the American right over there. If they throw you in jail over there, most chances you're going to stay in jail. Romania, you will stay in jail. And it's not you think American jail is a freaking Holiday Inn compared to these places. I mean a Holiday Inn. 4-star, if not 5. I just want to make sure if you got a plan, or you know somebody has a plan, check it out more. Do some more research before you get on there and get your tickets and get all your stuff and you go through all this moving process. Because once you're there and you don't have a lot of money to be picking up and moving somewhere else, it ain't like just picking up and moving across the state line or something like this. This is to another country way, way, way off. It's going to cost you a freaking fortune to move over there. It's unbelievable in what it would cost you. But I will tell you this. As far as living here in the state of Kentucky, I live in the central part. It's all the horse farms and more of a it's a different place to live as far as Kentucky's. There's different spots in Kentucky, and I think they're all great if you've been used to it. Eastern Kentucky is a nice, beautiful, beautiful place to live. The scenery, the mountains, beautiful places. But you don't go down there with a bad attitude and looking for trouble, because you will find it. And it will be more trouble than you ever anticipated. The people there they're just different. And when I say they're different, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, these folks are truly different. Yeah. You better do some homework before you choose that area as well, unless you're good with that. But they're good people. But you ain't go down there and treat them bad. That won't work. Southern Kentucky, about the same. Not as bad. Western Kentucky, you're more of a Midwestern person. You're more of a Southern Illinois, Missourian. It's a whole different way, because you're not very far from St. Louis or from Nashville at all. You're very close to that in that part. Here where I live, I'm like 70 miles south of Cincinnati, about 65 miles east of Louisville, Kentucky, and about 2.5 hours or less from north of Knoxville, Tennessee, and about 2.5, 3 hours from Wheeling, West Virginia. So I'm right here in the central. The Toyota plant, they're hiring every single day. Every day. If you can't come here and get a job in this town, I don't know what to say, because I don't know too many people that are without jobs here. Construction's going on like mad. Houses being built as fast as they can build them. Groceries being built, grocery stores, other grocery stores being built. Man, when I graduated high school here, there were 7,500 people in this town in 1984 and 5, somewhere right in there. Now we're up to almost 100,000 in 2026. The county's somewhere around 150-some thousand. And it's almost every 5 acres it's got a house on it. And it could be anywhere from a single wide trailer or an older home to a $4 or $5 million house. And I'm going to tell you, here in my area, around this area within 20 miles east, west, north, or south, you will find a lot of houses that are above $1 million. Some of them up around 5 or 6 million. Horse farms, unbelievable amounts of money, hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. They have helicopter pads for their own private helicopter to fly them to the airport to get on their private jet. Yeah, that's here. There's a lot of people here like that, more than most people realize. And the professional fields, doctor, lawyer, you get jobs here like that all day long. You can work from home. You can do just about anything you want from right here. There are people moving here and buying 100 or 2 acre farm, 100 or 200 acre farm, I should say, that have moved from New York city that have moved down here personally that I have talked to, and they bought like 158 acres or something like that, I think he said. And they built 4 homes that were between 3,000 and 4,000 square feet each on them. And he said, what we sold our apartment, just him and his wife, what we gave for this and built all these houses, that is about 1/3 of what our apartment in the Upper East Side of Manhattan cost. He said, I didn't know places just in this peaceful area that we live in. I didn't know places like this existed anymore. Because he said, we always went to Florida or someplace like that. He said, and then we found this, and we come in and looked at this. We knew right away we wanted it. So we bought it, and now 2 years later, we're living here permanently. So, but they can work from home. They can work from home, and so can the other 2 that live on the property as well, or 3, should I say. They can all work from home, and they just can go get their stuff when they need it. But I don't know what your situation is, but I want to tell you something. This is a great place to live. And it's nothing like you think it is, or you sit and watch. Because I'm going to tell you something. When they find somebody on the street, when they interview them on TV or something, I think they absolutely look for the worst person they can find that could represent this area. No teeth. Just talks like this. And I don't know why I never seen something. I mean, it just blows my mind. Every time. I'm like, they have to just go and pick these people out, hand pick them. Because everybody here is not talk like that. Everybody here is not like that. There are lots of really, really good people, professional people, really good jobs. You get a job at Toyota, they're going to start you out at about 25 to 26 an hour. And I know people there are making well over $50 an hour. And I know people there that are making, with the 2 incentives they have every year, every May, you get an incentive check, the employees back. That if you're making about 120, you're going to get a check for about 15,000, 12 to 15,000. But then in November, about a week or so after Thanksgiving, they get another check before they shut down for the Christmas break, which is about 10 or so days. The factory shuts down. And it also shuts down in July, which is coming up here in about a month. They're going to be shut down to change into the new 2027 models year. I guess they change out all the dyes that's going to be making the new cars. So basically all work then is maintenance. And if you're working in maintenance and robotics or something, you're making $250,000 plus a year. Easy. Easy. So if I was a young man again, I would be trying my hard, as hard as I could, to either be an industrial electrician or to work in robotics, maintenance, like that, or to be a welder, because electrician, plumber, these guys are making a freaking fortune here because all of the new construction going in, existing construction, these people are making a fortune. I have a friend right now. He's got 10 guys. 10 guys. I think he's got running 5 or 6 trucks, counting himself. And he's doing about $650,000 a year. And he just took in a new guy that just come out of school that has his journeyman license and is going to go in to get his full master's license. And he'll be starting out somewhere around $100,000 when he starts out. That's what's going on here. People's making some money here. Every place in this world is not broke, I can promise you. Yeah, are things high? Yeah. Gas is still $3.25 today for regular gas. And I think diesel is $4.65. Yeah, $4.65 a gallon. Which that reminds me, I've got to order some diesel too. So anyway, it'd probably be a good time to do it, because since I would say Trump's going to start bombing again, since they shot down the Apache helicopter yesterday or last night. So if you're watching this, it might be sooner or later on, and I might already know this anyway. But so I would think probably things are going to go up again. I'm quite sure, because I want to fill this up today, and I'm going to order my diesel just as soon as I pop off here. I'm going to jump on there and order my diesel, and my gas at home to be brought tomorrow. But I'll tell you, folks, look before you leave. Before you leave this country, and maybe not ever be able to get back in. That could be a very big possibility right now. So be sure, before you move from here, wherever you're from, or wherever you're moving from, and it might be a bad spot, and you might need to really move, and I understand, but do some checking. And I hope whoever's looking, if you know anybody's looking, send them this video. Send them this video. I can tell you, this place is beautiful. And it's in the summertime, it's hot and it's humid and it's sticky and muggy. It's a muggy day today, and it's raining. I think it's like 73 or 4 right now, but the humidity is like 89% because it's been raining all day, obviously. But it's going to be up in the 90s in the next couple of days, and then it's going to drop back down into the 80s again, and in the high 70s again. But I'm going to tell you, the winter's not bad. Not bad. We might see, on the average of all winter, anywhere from 1 to 10 inches of snow. Then you might not see any. But we do kind of fit in that place where we have sleet or freezing rain. And my shirt. But anyway, just check on things, because the food here, it's expensive. It's expensive anywhere you go. But it's not as expensive as some places I've seen. Not even close. Not even close. And you can still get things here that are straight from the farm. We have a farmer's market every Saturday. Every Saturday morning there's a farmer's market. So you can come into town, you can get almost anything that you want straight from the farm. And you can put all this, learn how to can your stuff. And I'm going to tell you, it'll save you a ton of money. A ton of money. And if you don't want to, that's fine. But I can tell you that there are better ways to live than just leaving the country. Even if it's not here, look around. Because some of your more rural areas, check out and see how strong their economy is, where they're at. And if it's bad, then hey, I understand. But I'm going to tell you, here, it's not that bad. If you're anywhere around the central Kentucky area where I just said earlier, in this area from Louisville to Lexington to Cincinnati, you're in a pretty To me, I think you're probably in a really good area. And even in Western Kentucky, it's more of a lot of more large farm, like you'd see out in the Midwestern states. Uh, a lot of corn, a lot of soybeans, a lot of a little bit of everything, a lot of hay, a lot of more cattle. Just you have a lot of more of the bigger per se farming. It goes on there, but they make a lot of money as well, and they're producing fresh things. But the biggest thing around here is I've never been in any county or any place around here that doesn't have a farmer's market every Saturday morning from when they can start, usually about in the first or second week of April, and run all the way through until fall. There are festivals in the spring, festivals in the fall. Where I live is about 4 miles from where I live. It's probably one of the nicest historian places you're getting where you'll ever be at. And that is on the Bourbon Trail here in Kentucky. Great thing to see. That's a big industry here. You work at any of the big distilleries, any of them, from here to Bardstown, Elizabethtown, Kentucky, and you're on the old your Wild Turkey, Jim Beam, Buffalo Trace, Woodford Reserve, Heaven Hill, Bourbon 30, Willet, all of the major bourbon manufacturers are here. I live 10 minutes from where they make Pappy Van Winkle or any of the other brands. Weller, Buffalo Trace, Taylor. That's where they all started at. Right here in my town is where Elijah Craig, the guy that first and I guess and ever brought bourbon to this country, was made right in here in my hometown. So if you drink or you know any of these things, you know what kind of bourbon I'm talking about. It's top shelf stuff. It's top shelf, and it's not cheap. You grab a bottle of Pappy 23 year, you're gonna be somewhere around 7,000, 6 to 7,000. Just Elijah Craig, one particular batch, small batch is what it's called. You'll be paying probably about $5,000 for it, for one bottle. There's a store not very far from me that has a lot of things like that. And you walk around in there, you will get freaking sticker shock bad. But people buy it because there's people here with a lot of money and they do a lot of entertaining, especially around the horse times, around Derby, Preakness, anything to do with any horse sales or anything like that. Keeneland horse sales are going to be coming up not very long from now for yearling sales. And people being here from Dubai, Syria, well, not Syria, excuse me, Saudi Arabia, my bad, Saudi Arabia, all over the world, from California, from Florida, everywhere. Actors will be here. Patrick Swayze was seen here a bunch of times at the horse park. That's one of the biggest things here. The industry here, that's another thing, Kentucky Horse Park. That is the history of this whole area and horses. But the Rolex meet is there. And then we have a seniors tournament that comes through here at Kearney Links every year for golf. So there's a lot of things about here that's pretty neat. And I just want to tell you, don't move until you really check. Not here. If you don't want to be, it's fine. But look around some more and think of some more places before you maybe think about going out of the country. And if that's what you want to do, and hey, have at it. But I'll tell you this, you better be pulling up some information and looking to see where you're going, and just not saying, well, that's going to be cool to live such and such. look at their crime rate and look at the statistics of what happens and all the other things that goes along with it, and then see what you think. But I've seen a lot of mean things in my life, been in a lot of bad situations that I don't care to discuss. So, but anyway, I appreciate you watching. We're over 30 minutes now. I appreciate you staying on here this time. As long as we've been on here, I really appreciate it if you stayed to the end. But if you're really thinking about someplace, think about here, because, or somewhere around here, or another state close to here. I promise you, it's not what people say it is. And the rent here is not even close to being what some places are. It's not cheap. Now, a 2-bedroom, I'm talking about nice, not anything I'm talking about somewhere real. It's right across the street from where I'm sitting. 2-bedroom apartment, which is basically almost like a condo type thing, with a garage and and about 5 years old. 2-bedroom will cost you about $1,200. 3-bedroom about $1,350, and that's 2 full baths. A single will run you about $1,000. And there are other places. I have 2 rental places, and one of them is 1,250 square feet, and they pay $625 a month. That's a fact. I have another place that's about 1350, 14, and they're paying $700. They've been with me for a long time, and I never raised their rent ever in the past 6 years, because they take care of the places. They're clean, they're nice, and they're good people, and they watch over things when I'm gone, and that means a lot. To me, it means a lot, because sometimes you rent places, you think you're getting good people, and you're not. Trust me, I've had them a long time ago, but in other places, but not here. And I'll tell you this, another thing about somewhere in this area, I'm only 3 hours from Gatlinburg, and you pop down there for a weekend easily. Or Branson, Missouri, 5 hours. You're there. It's sort of some places that a lot of people like to go. But, beach, Myrtle Beach, 9 hours. Panhandle of Florida, like Destin, Panama City, 12 hours. And probably about the same to Tampa, about 12 and a half actually, or 13, somewhere in that area. But it's not that bad. It's a great place. And the scenery is absolutely beautiful. When you fly in here to the airport, whether it be Louisville Airport, Greater Cincinnati Airport in Northern Kentucky, they're the 2 international airports, or the Lexington Airport. You fly over all the horse farms. You look down and you're in a plane if you're on a really nice day, and it's beautiful. It really is. So, but anyway, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. And maybe if somebody's watched this, I hope it's answered some of your questions. Hit me up, put something in the comment, what you want to know, and I'll hit you back up and let you know if I know it. And anyway, take care. Thanks for hanging around. See you.